Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you'd like to know more about my knitwear design, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry page where you will find images of all the patterns I have available for you to get PDFs of and knit up yourself. Also in the description below you will find a link to my Facebook group for Watch Barbara Knit, and it is a way for us to continue the conversation that we start here on the YouTube. You can always talk to me in the comments below. I love responding to people, but Facebook allows a little more interactivity. We can share pictures and things like that. I'm pretty excited. Today is Tuesday, November 21st, 2017. I wanted to say that right out front because the thing I'm going to talk to you about today is a time-sensitive issue, because tonight, actually, the Indie Design Gift Along starts. It is a huge event on Ravelry where over 300 designers, independent designers like myself, come together to just celebrate the holiday knitting season, because it's the time of year where people start knitting gifts to give to people. So this is called the Gift Along. Now, of course, you can be knitting gifts for your loved ones or acquaintances or whoever you knit gifts for, but you know what? You can also be knitting a gift for yourself. We don't have a problem with that at all. But we're coming together and to have fun and to encourage each other along so we can accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. And tonight kicks it off. The first week or so, there is actually a sale, and all of the designers involved have put over 10, I think it's between 10 and 20, I'm not sure, but they've put a good number of patterns on sale, and they're all at 25% off. There's no limit to how many times you can use the code. It's the same code for every single designer. I'm going to put it in the description below, but also it'll be in a little image here. It's Gift Along 2017, and so you can shop the participating designers and put that code in when you check out in your checkout thingamajigger in Ravelry, and you will get 25% off all of the patterns. Now, let me think. There's going to be a link in the description below to my patterns that I have on sale, and there will be a link in the description below to the designer thread in the Indie Design Gift Along that you'll be able to see all of the designers who have put things on sale. And I believe they are putting together a Ravelry bundle that can be searched, so it's you'll be able to go through the Ravelry Advanced Pattern Search to look for a pattern that meets your needs that will only be, and they'll all be on sale for 25% off. So that is really exciting to me. Now, I want to have the very specific information. So the sale starts tonight, November 21st, 2017 at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and runs until November 28th at 11:59 p.m. So end of day on November 28th. And so that is the window you have to use the discount code. Now, the gift along itself starts tonight and then runs until December 31st at midnight. And so that is the time you have that we will be cheering you along to finish the projects that you want to finish. And so in that, what it is while there's a limited number of patterns that are on sale, all of the participating designers, all of their paid for patterns are eligible to participate in the gift along. So there are 8 different categories that you can enter, and you can enter, you know, as many as you want. You just can't take one project and enter it in multiple categories. You can enter any individual category with different projects as many times as you want, but one project, one category. Does that make sense? I'm going to be moderating with several other wonderful designers the hats thread And there are a bunch of different threads. So there'll also be a link in the description below. You're going to really want to go to the description today. A link in the description below to the indie design gift along, the general forum in Ravelry, where you want to come in. There's cheerleading, you sign up, you say, I'm going to make this pattern, and we put your name in there. And then when you finish the pattern, you take a picture and you put it in the finished objects thread, and then you can be eligible to win prizes. So, hey, it's a win-win. You get a gift out of it and you might get a prize. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about for the rest of this video are the patterns that I have selected to put on sale. There's some new ones and some old favorites, and some of them I really picked out with the idea of this is going to be fun and easy to knit as a gift, and some of them is just like people really like this pattern, so I'm going to put it on sale. To start off with, I have a few men's patterns because it's usually tough to do, and my most recent top 5, I talked about men's patterns, I believe, and this pattern was featured in the end of this, but I decided to put it on sale too. This is I Can't Control My Brain, and it is super cool. It's super easy. It's a simple texture pattern, DK weight yarn or sport weight yarn. I think sport weight. This one's done in sport weight yarn, but you could use DK if you want. It's really flexible size-wise. The pattern, I believe, has suggestions on how to make it bigger and smaller. It is a super fun pattern that's good for men or women, but is especially good for a man's pattern. Then we have here is the Burly Cable Cowl. This is a chunky knit, and so that makes it super fast, and I thought it'd be great for the gift along. It's fun because the cable is knit flat all the way around, and then you overlap it slightly and then pick it up to knit in the round and knit the texture part of it, and then you put the buttons on, and the buttons are totally fake. There's not a buttonhole or anything. It's just because it's to avoid a couple things that I don't like doing. One is to graft. I don't like grafting things, especially a cable, so that avoided the grafting of the cable. And it just, you can pick up and then knit in the round, so it's a lot of fun. That's the Burly Cable Cowl. It is super good, and of course you can make it in a color totally appropriate for a woman also. Next is Ring the Gack. Again, another unisex piece, but when I have pieces that I feel are really appropriate for men, excuse me, I will do them in a more masculine color and photograph them on my husband here so that you can see what it looks like on a guy, just in case you have problems visualizing it. Ring the Gack is wonderful. It's a cowlet, but it's really great because you throw it on with a jacket and that point tucks in the inside. Again, this is knit in the round, top down, super fast and super fun, a great gift to give. And then to wrap up the specifically male patterns, and this one is the only one that was designed with the idea that it was a male pattern, and it's possibly my most favorite named pattern I have done. This is No Mr. Bond, I Expect You to Die, and it is a men's evening scarf. Of course, a woman could wear it, but I specifically designed this as a really super stylish men's scarf. You could wear it to like the opera. I did it in a silk llama blend. It's worsted weight. You could do it in whatever you want. It's really fun, simple. It's just slip stitch color work. It's mosaic color work. So you're knitting stripes and slipping stitches. So it's a win-win, and you could bust this guy out fairly quickly. Now, then these could totally be, depending on your color choice, totally be perfectly appropriate for a man. And actually, the whole crazy sock thing has been getting really big among businessmen. So you could do it in these colors, which are fabulous from the Fiber Seed. These are my Sandpiper Socks. So if socks are on your gift knitting list, here is an option. They are toe up with an afterthought heel. You knit it in 2 colors, and what this is one crazy variegated yarn and a solid yarn, and you get these fun stripes, and that it's got lifted bars and slip stitches, and it is a super fun sock pattern. And then here's Oscillator. This is another one that I picked out for the sale because I think you could whip one of these up fairly quickly and would be a great gift. This would be a fantastic gift for like a teacher. And actually, when I designed it, I gave the original one I did to my son's piano teacher. It is a fairly simple, since it's a closed cowl, it's going to knit up fairly quickly. This took 2 skeins of Dos Tierras, which is a merino alpaca DK weight yarn from Malabrigo, and it's so soft. It's so soft. But again, this is slip stitch color work, so it's super easy. You're just knitting stripes and slipping stitches, and it would be totally appropriate for the guys in your life if you chose a different color palette. Or you know what, if you've got a guy that likes wearing pink, this would be great for him also. And now here is, I decided to throw this one scarf in here. This is Captive, and it's a lacy scarf. It was very specifically chosen because this one is the same stitch over and over and over again. I chose to put beads in it, but you don't have to. And you could knit this thing up super fast as a gift. It's very lightweight. I designed it and I knit it in cotton and silk in this image. And I have another one that I knit in a heavier. It has instructions for both fingering and DK weight yarns in cotton, and it is a wonderful gift that is knitting that could be worn in the summer too. So it's a lightweight piece, but it is called Captive, and it is one that I think would make a great gift. And from here on out, shawls. The rest of them I got is shawls. I love knitting shawls. I love designing shawls. And if you're watching me, I am guessing you are totally 100% aware of that fact. So the balance of the patterns I put on sale are shawls. So here is Funrun. Funrun is knit in 2 colors, one solid and one speckled, like speckled crazy variegated yarn. It is knit from the bottom up, so it's very flexible in the yardage that you can use. Again, this is one that's simple. It could be very good for traveling with, and I think that it would make a great gift for someone on your list or maybe yourself. Then next we have Euroland. Euroland is a 1 skein shawl. It uses only about 400 yards of fingering weight. It's a top-down crescent shape with simple textures and very elegant lines. This one would be very easy to knit up if you wanted to gift someone a shawl, which is why I selected it. Here we have Ready Player One, which again has a texture and then some slip stitch mosaic, so stripes, and then lace at the bottom. If you've got a little bit of a nerd in your life, this Ready Player One is actually a science fiction book, and I thought that the motifs looked like Pac-Man. Waka, waka, waka. So that is there. It is a wonderful pattern and a lot of fun. It is sport weight. Then we have Love Child, Where You Gonna Be? This one is a perennial favorite. It works great with 2 colors. It works great with a solid and a gradient. You can do it with a solid and a variegated. It is fingering weight yarn, and since it starts at the point and goes this way, it grows. You can, it's very flexible with yardage, and it's the same stitch over and over and over again. It's that tiny motif, and it just repeats. So this one's super fast, and it's fairly simple and straightforward. It is the mosaic lace, so you're knitting stripes and slipping stitches. Next, we have Lady Jessica. This is a sport weight shawl, and I did it here in Stitch Sprouts Yellowstone. It is a warm shawl. It's got the big garter wings that you see, and well, you can't really see it, but if you click through and you'll see it's a big crescent shaped shawl with these garter wings that wrap around, and what you're looking at here is the back with the lace across the shoulders and then along the bottom. It's a very elegant shawl, and I really like this one. Then we have Bitterblue. Bitterblue is designed to work with a gradient yarn. This was in the Unique Sheep, a set, and it's like 600 and something yards, and it's got beads. And the cool thing about this is that the beads gradient in the opposite direction of the yarn. So a lot of people like this shawl, and it would be fun to knit up. Next, we have In a FishThought. Now, it is the same shape as Bitterblue, but it is a simpler pattern. The body is just a basic texture, and then you've got the little teeth along the edge, and at the end of each row there are these little tiny cables, and they're so cute. Oh my God, I almost lost my voice there. They're so cute. And FishThought works great with variegated yarns, and you can get it a single skein. You can get a decent sized shawl. So if you have some variegated yarns that you've been trying to figure out what to do with it, FishThought is a really great choice. And again, because it's that shape, it's very flexible in yardage. Earthbound Misfit. I released this pattern towards the end of last year, so it wasn't in the sale, so I thought I'd put it in the sale this year. This is designed to work with a gradient, about 600 yards of the gradient, and then about 400 yards of this contrast. You have beads on it, and the beads, what I did is I selected the colors from the gradient and put them in the lace, so you've got that contrast and it ties everything together. You don't necessarily have to do beads because it does slow you down a bit, but I love beads. And this is Earthbound Misfit, and I thought I'd put it on sale for those of you who maybe have had your eye on it. And finally, Golden Lion Throne. Here she is back here. Golden Lion Throne is the shawl that I designed, and that was the concept I had, that essentially the impetus behind me coming up with the combining slip stitch, mosaic, color work, and lace, so that I could get color work and lace together. So if you've been curious about that technique, this is the shawl that started it all. It is a long, here, let me show you. It is a long shawl this way, but short. It's almost sort of a scarf, but it's got a light curve to it. The concept behind it, I call them nothing but the fun part. I have 2 pieces in this shape, and I plan on designing more because I really enjoy it. I keep looking at the picture. That's not working out. There we go. You know, a lot of times you have a shawl and you have to go through a large amount of stockinette or garter to get to the fun part for me, which is the lace trim. And so these are just the fun part. You cast on a long amount and you are essentially just knitting the trim for a shawl, which is what I really enjoy knitting. So those are the 16 patterns that I have put on discount. Remember, 8 o'clock tonight, they go on sale. Check for all the information down in the description below. And I really hope I see you in the Indie Design Gift Along. Come into the hat thread and say hi. Maybe knit up a hat. And any of my hats, not just I Can't Control My Brain is the only hat I put in the sale, but any of my hats qualify to be in the gift along. So please come over. If you like this video, give it the thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.